Welcome back, ladies and gents, to the podcast. We are here chatting to local Renfrewshire businesses, and today we have no stranger to the Paisley scene. A big name that I'd like to put out there. We have Grant from SweetPunkz. How you doing?
I'm very well. How's you?
I'm good. Thank you very much for coming along.
Yeah, it's mental. I can't believe I'm here.
I know.
Got the invite. I'm straight down. Let me get chatting away.
You were very quick in responding to come down.
Anybody wants to talk to me about my business, and I'll be all over it. So in a good way, you know what I mean. But yeah, thanks for inviting me down.
No, listen. As I say, thanks very much for coming. I think your business as well, with the uprise that it's had over the past few years, is a brilliant story, and I think everybody needs to know about SweetPunkz. So, do you want to even give us a wee introduction to who you are? We know you're Grant, but who are you? Come on.
Yeah, so I'm Grant, better known as Mr. SweetPunkz or Willy Wonka, whatever you want to call me. Basically, I run and operate an online sweet shop in the Paisley area and around everywhere else in the UK, known as SweetPunkz, and it's been around for two and a half years now, which is mental to think like that. It's grown arms and legs since I first started it, thinking it would just be a kind of hobby based business to kind of cover some gaps during the whole pandemic time, which I won't dwell on too much, but yeah, it was just to cover a bit of time for that, and then before you knew it became my full-time gig, and now I'm SweetPunkz staffed. I'm everything about my life is sweets, which
you're literally like Paisley's Willy Wonka.
Yeah,
definitely.
Literally, yeah. So literally, driving around the van, everybody's like honking the horn at me, and I'm like, do I know that person? Like, no, they've just recognised them in the van.
SweetPunkz.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it does happen. So yeah, we're still here, we're still going strong after 2.5 years, which is good. So
that's brilliant. It's brilliant to see that it's, especially the way it's going now, it's growing arms and legs.
Yeah.
So how did the idea of SweetPunkz come about right at the start?
Yeah, so it's kind of like I was mentioning it. So on the whole lockdown piece, so I ran another small business for about 4 or 5 years, and I was still running it going into the whole COVID piece, and then overnight the COVID lockdowns basically affected all the suppliers and all that good stuff and shut that business down for 6 months or something like that. So I was out of work for 6 months, kind of thinking what to do, twiddling my thumbs, and then if you remember right, the Christmas time of one of the years of COVID, right, when we kind of reopened for a little bit and things went back to semi-normal, and
kind of had that month where it was just
great.
like,
oh, here, I'm telling you what,
looking at everybody like, what's going on?
For me, that was like the best month ever. Like, it's just like normality back. So so I started doing my usual stuff again, and then the announcement came that Boxing Day, it was like, right, we're shutting down again for another 3 weeks plus, however long it could be.
Mental, wasn't it? Back open for Christmas to be then shut for New Year.
Exactly. So I did quite well. My other business was basically printing t-shirts and things like that for workwear, and we did like an eBay shop on the side. So I basically was doing that. It went really well that last month, and then basically when we shut down again, I was like, right, here we go again. How long's this going to last for? I don't know. Am I thinking about joining the big bad world of work again? I just didn't know. I was kind of in a real state of flux during that kind of time, that whole year, really. And I was like, I need to do something different, and I don't quite want to go back to the corporate world anymore. I've done that. And I was like, right, what can I do? Don't know. I was sitting like everybody else was on in lockdown on TikTok, right? I downloaded an app called TikTok, scrolling through video after video after video,
as we all did,
on for 3 hours at a time, and you're like, hold on a minute, it's 4 a.m. I should probably go to bed. But no, you still went and swiped anyway. But I watched somebody kind of do something similar, a sweet-based business, and I watched them start their business. I'm a great copycat of businesses, right? And there's nothing wrong in that. But I seen somebody do something similar, and I went, there's got to be something in that. I've watched somebody go from 0 followers to it was like 300,000 followers in a week, and I was like, oh, maybe that's the trend, maybe that's what I do, maybe I could do that. And I always thought during the lockdown, I went, what's the one business that's doing really, really well? Food businesses were killing it, and I was one of the biggest customers, right? And I was like, well, I could do some food business because like their suppliers are still open because it's classified as food.
It's essential.
Like, I could do it. I was like, let's get it done. Before you know it, I'm like starting to research takeaways, and I'm like, right, Grant, you can't actually cook, so what are you doing trying to open a takeaway? And so like, okay, so that idea lasted all of like the 20 minutes, and before I realised that sweets essentially came under the food category as like a nice wee loophole. I was like, oh, the sweet suppliers are still open. I could do that. It's the same idea. Run a website, sell online, do a bit of promotion, flip some sweets. We'll do that for a couple of months until, you know, my printing business is back up and running once COVID's kind of calmed down a bit and we're back to normal. And that's the short story to tell you. I'm still here 2.5 years later, and it's now my full-time business. And the other business went up down the tubes basically while starting this sweet business. So yeah, that's what it is, and that's how it started. Seen it on somebody else's TikTok, went, that looks like a really good idea. Maybe I should try it and take my skills across to that. And before you know it, we were on TikToks flying, you know, within like months.
That's mental how it just came from watching somebody on TikTok, a bit of inspiration there. And
yeah, it started from literally, the concept was, I think the timeline is February, I have recorded this somewhere, February the 9th, 2021. That's when it all started. I went, you know, I'll do this sweet business.
That was when SweetPunkz was born.
Pretty much, yeah. I was like, right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start a sweet shop, online sweet shop, and I'm going to go for it. So from the point of the 9th of February until we launched, the very first day where people could buy from us was the 12th of March. So we literally had a month from concept, from starting it to branding it to creating the packaging, the everything, basically creating the business took that month. So every idea that I had went into it, and within a month we were up and running, and before you knew it, we had people buying off us on the 12th of March, and I've not looked back since. Wow. Quite literally. So
quite a quick turnaround, to be fair.
Very quick turnaround. I've realised how quick that is for a business now that we're a little bit bigger and we're now a little bit more developed. Like, if I want to do a project or I want to introduce something new, I can't do it in a month. I've tried it very recently, which I'm sure we'll talk about, but it doesn't happen naturally. So so I think it was just a case of kind of not working for that while gave me a drive that I've never really had before. And once I'm a big fan of branding and like creating something new. It's just, I get a real buzz at like marketing and like some stuff like that. I come alive. So,
which is something I would say you're good at, and we'll discuss later on.
Yeah, like I love like creating something catchy, something that you can think, oh, that's quite good. I wish I'd came up with that. I'm a big person in that. I'll watch an advert and I'll be like, oh, that's amazing. I wish I could have done that. Like, I'm a big person in that. So yeah, SweetPunkz naturally came about in that month. And from there, we've just developed the brand, developed the product range, developed everything after that. But yeah, I had to get up and running quick because I was like, hey, I really need to get a business going because I'm out of work.
How's the money coming in?
Yeah, I need some money coming in, you know what I mean? Like, you can't survive on nothing, which I did for 6 months. So it happened quickly, and I'm glad that, I'm really glad that I did it. Let's put it that way. It's been the best thing I've ever decided to do in my life. But yeah, just, it's a crazy thing to think that was 2.5 years ago, and where I'm sitting at to now, the whole business and the size of it now is quite,
it's incredible. From the outside point of view, it's absolutely incredible to see the journey. One thing that I would like to ask is where did you start with SweetPunkz? Was it I know that you were part of the Startup Street in Paisley.
Yeah.
So was that like your first proper like unit that you would have your business running from?
Absolutely. So like the previous business I was mentioning was all from the house, from the home, and it was, now that I really look back at it, I did that for 4 or 5 years. I loved it, but it was a lifestyle business. I realised just how much it kept me going month to month. That was all it was going to be. Now looking back, I might have been able to do some stuff with it, but I would have really struggled in the climate that it was in at the time. So this business essentially had to start in a different way. Like, it's a food-based business, so I made my phone calls to do my research, as you need to do when you start any business, and I was found that it was going to be really difficult to get the food approvals and all that kind of stuff from the house. So I was like, well, this is a great idea, but I can't work it from the house. I need to find premises. I was like, the headache started to go, the worry started to go. I was like, oh, this business isn't. You start to kind of outsize yourself from reality. It got real very quickly, and I was like, I'm going to have to sign up for a big lease, and like, I've got no money, and
going to take a big loan, and how are you going to pay that back?
The panic started. So I thought, maybe this is just a good idea, and that's all it's ever going to be. How wrong. A pipe dream. How wrong was I? So basically, I reached out to my local business advisors in the Renfrewshire Gateway, who basically have always helped me throughout my business. Is like, I love doing my businesses, but if you don't have somebody to kind of lean on and ask questions to, then it really is difficult. I mean, business is difficult enough, so it's great to have somebody to kind of bounce ideas off of and just get that expertise that you might not have. So I did that, reached out to my local business gateway, and they basically said, oh, there's a project coming up where we're actually like, we've renovated an old disused shop front, and we're putting small businesses into it, like an incubator for 2 years, cheap-ish rent, and like everything kind of paid for facility wise. Like, it could be the perfect place for you, Grant. And I went, okay. And it all kind of landed at the same time. It was very good timing, very lucky. I still
seems like it was a right time, right place sort of idea.
100%. I couldn't have done it without the startup street in Paisley, the launch at startup street with the council and stuff. That's like a joint partnership between the two of those guys, and I couldn't do it without. Now looking back, the business would never have started. I would never have known. I would always been a concept idea, never known quite how successful it might have been. And yeah, we went down there. I met the person that was involved at the time, Trish, and she was like, here's the bills, here's what it involves. And I was like, okay, is that let's do it. And that was around the February the 12th, I think. I hadn't even come up with the name right at that point.
That's brilliant.
I'm just sitting there going, I want to create a sweet shop online. And Trish was like, yeah, let's do it. And then I was like, okay, I have no idea how to get food approvals. I have no idea how to do anything. And before you know it, we're doing online courses of food hygiene certificates, and I'm up to.
I was going to say there's a lot behind it.
So
I've worked with loads of chefs, and the biggest stress of their life is all these certificates that you have to have in place.
It's mental. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Like, wow.
The sweet business is not as involved in depth as like cooking chicken, right? But in a restaurant, but
at least you don't have to stab any to make sure it's the right temperature.
Exactly, right. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, it's tough. Like, because like learning things that I'm not a chef, I'm not a cook. I couldn't have told you anything about the food business and like how involved it was. I was just like, I'll do the online course. Happy days.
Food industry is massive.
It'll be a doddle. So, I mean, the courses are easy, right? But putting them into practice is a little bit different.
Definitely.
And like the big thing for me was getting those approvals, basically, and like getting the council to come down and give you a stamp to say, yeah, you can officially sell food to people on the internet. You know what I mean? So that was a worry. That was a big worry, because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to pass, and we passed with flying colours, which was great. But it took a lot of hours, a lot of time, and just investment and learning again. Like, I wasn't signed up to, believe it or not. I wasn't like, yeah, I'm going to learn everything under the sun, and I'm going to keep learning and grafting. Like, I just thought, not that I knew it all, but I thought that I knew quite a lot. And I thought, I'm not going to need to learn too much to get this up and running. I was very much wrong.
Probably from having your previous business though, and you know what I mean, running that for a while. You've got the skills and the knowledge for certain things, but when it comes to a different sector, maybe, you know what I mean, that's a whole different ball game. Yeah,
I mean, I brought over some transferable skills from the other business in terms of running a website, shipping, logistics,
marketing, things like that.
100%. That's where my skill set was, and that's what the business was. And now we're dealing with that, plus dealing with customers' lives in some situations, right? Because like your gluten intolerances, all your allergens and things like that, you don't quite understand, like, when you're selling food online, how serious that can be. So like that was learned early on, not from doing anything bad. I'll just have to put that out there, like, before I shoot myself in the foot. Just like when you start to read up on it and you're starting to learn it all, you're like, oh my goodness, like I could kill somebody, and that's not good.
And I think that's it. And the good thing is you went and did the research, whereas there's plenty of people that probably haven't done said research. And
absolutely, I see it all the time. But I would advise anybody doing that you must learn the facts of food before you start getting involved in any type of food business, and do your research and know your stuff. That's one of the things I pride myself on at SweetPunkz, is as well as doing all the fun marketing stuff and like really pushing the brand and pushing the products. I know what I'm doing. Like, behind it all, there is like a brain behind it that has learned how to do it safely. So, and that's, we've done it for 2.5 years. Touch wood. So far, so good. And we'll continue to, be as strict and straight as safe as possible with everything we do when it comes to food hygiene and all that stuff. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I'm happy with it. And we'll keep grafting at it. But
brilliant, mate. Brilliant. And I think that's it. Every day's a school day. I mean, you hear that saying all the time, and there's things that you'll still to learn, and there's stuff that you'll be like second nature. You know exactly off the top of your head. With a lot of your products, obviously, how would you source your products? Because I know you deal with a lot of imported goods.
Yeah.
So obviously you don't have to give us names of things there, because we don't want to give too much information. All right, yeah. I'm not. This isn't the thing. How would you? Even let's say the important goods, the certain countries and things that maybe you deal with, because I know Brexit. I don't know if that affects you in a big way.
It does, not directly. Right. I mean, I'm not sitting putting in paperworks and doing it all, but my suppliers are the ones doing all those kind of things. There's a lot of UK distributors that you've essentially got to network and meet them all and get to know them, so that you want to be preferable on their list of like vendors. So when they get new stock in, you want to be one of the first ones that they're
be on that list.
Yeah. Like that's part of like SweetPunkz and the industry, and the kind of the competitors and the competition that I'm in is essentially we're like early adopters on new trends, new products. We're like one of the first ones. If there's something happening that's trending and viral on like your TikTok or any social media, chances are SweetPunkz and people like SweetPunkz have got that product. Yep. So like it was Prime for a while.
That was the thing. It was sitting at the top of my head.
It was that for a while. We had it earlier than pretty much everybody. There's loads of other products.
I managed to get a bottle. I got it for SweetPunkz.
Exactly. So I did have quite a bit, and I did try to spread the love about with a lot of people, instead of just saying, "Oh, you come in and buy
a free for all."
Yeah, it wasn't a free for all. We limited it.
Those Aldi days where people were fighting over a bottle.
So I wasn't having people turning up at my warehouse, right, knocking in the window to try and get a bottle of Prime, right. So, so that like things like that and sourcing, it's all about networking. It really is. People hate the words, right? Hate the cliche. Oh, you need to be good at networking in business. Like you really do. In this game, particularly, like I've built up some really good relationships with my suppliers, especially in the UK. Without giving them away, obviously, that like I can go to them and say, look, this is the product that I know is coming to the UK, or it's been out, but we can't get a hold of it. I really need to get some. We'll have that conversation, and whether or not I can hit the volumes, it's always to do with, can you hit the volumes that they can get them in at? Then they're willing to work with you. That's like UK distributor level. Like that's for your majority of your American lines, your European lines coming in. But there's specific lines that I've had to go and find and source myself direct from the countries that they come from. So like I've got a contact or a couple of contacts out in India, I've got a contact out in Dubai, I've got a contact in Australia. Like I've went out and found them just either by chance, like sometimes you just stumble across them and they find you, your Instagram, and before you know it, you've got one of those dodgy looking DMs and you're like, what is this? Sometimes they work out.
So one of them's paid off.
So sometimes they work out, especially in this game. So before you know it, you just kind of need to vet people. Like somebody slides into your DM on like Instagrams or whatever, you've got to reply and then kind of work out, is this person legit? Sometimes it takes experimenting with that legitness, and then you find out, okay, we're okay. But sometimes you lose. It happens in this game, so there's a lot of risk. There's a lot of risk in this because essentially you're dealing with people that you're never going to meet. That's for like outside countries and stuff like that. So yeah, I got contacts now with places like India, where we got I'm going back to viral products, right? One of the biggest viral products that we've had this year is I don't know if you remember it, it's the Milky Bar Chew. I seen the smile, like the laughter.
So I actually bought I think you had that. Yes, I bought Milky Bar Chews from you. Yes.
Many people have.
I think we bought like one of those. I think you had like big bags of them.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was like one of those ones that we'd got. Yes.
Yeah, I did do that. Yeah, you're right. That's crazy. So yeah,
I was so happy when they came back. What I love about the products and stuff, and we'll chat about some of the, obviously you're about to say about the products and stuff, like I love that it's stuff that I've grew up with, and that you just don't get here anymore, but they're somehow still available in these other countries. And when we seen the Milky Bar Chew, like me and my partner Rebecca, we were absolutely buzzing, because it was her, she was like, oh, I could really do with some, and I was like, right, cool, order. That was my excuse. I was like, perfect, she's game, so I'm like, no.
So yeah, like that's one of our hero products this year specifically. I think I've sold like
Do you can get a Mars Bar Delight? Is that what it's called? A Mars Delight?
Oh no, don't. Because I would never sell them. I'd just keep them all. Like
this could be one of those podcasts. Like,
just like
the certain things you want back.
Remember this back in the 90s? What would you bring back? A Cadbury Spira, by the way. Now I'm really taking you out there, by the way. Like that's one of the best chocolate bars in the world. Cadbury Spira. I don't even know if it exists anywhere in the world. But see,
Love a dream.
See that. I still get them.
Still.
So I think we've got a dream mix with Oreo at the moment from Australia. So yeah, see, it's crazy. Like some of the products we'll have, you'll never have heard of, or you'll have heard of back in the day, and we've managed to like find them still getting produced in Egypt or Australia. It's crazy. Like
that is crazy.
we've just about to, or we have just kind of brought back to the website, and we're going to bring it to TikTok soon and really promote it. Is the Milky Way crispy rolls. So like, do you remember them Milky Way crispy rolls?
Are they discontinued?
Yeah. See, that's what they're that closely discontinued. They're only discontinued by about a year. But they're now back. Well, sorry, they're not back in the UK. So like, you used to get them for £5 in
that's right.
Poundland
Yes,
and all that. Yeah, the good times, right? Then they discontinued them, so you can't get them anywhere, right? So
they were very popular. I'm surprised at that.
Yeah, so we've now just started to get them from a supplier that we've got because they've just randomly popped up, and somebody's like, "Oh, Milky Way crispy rolls." So I'm like, "What?" I thought they were gone, and they were, but we've managed to get a batch of that, and they've already sold half of the batch, I think, so far, and we've only been open a week again. And yeah,
that's mental.
And the plan is to get more of them in, basically, and the bigger the volume, the bigger the discount I can pass on to the customers, and everybody wins. So Milky Bar Chews have been that product, essentially. We have sold, in essence, in about 5 months, 4 months maybe, 6,000 plus boxes of those. Yeah, exactly, and they've all come via India. So it's been a long...
Thank you, India.
Yeah, thank you, India. They brought back the goods that everybody wanted. So if only they would just listen, you know what I mean?
Yes.
If only sweet manufacturers would listen, we'd all have Mars Delights back, and we'd all just be loving life.
I love those. Was that the Mars Delight? Mars Delight was the bar. What was the Mars packet? What was that called again? And it had all the different ones, and it had like the kind of Malteser planets.
Yeah. Oh, here, come on! Like, so I know my sweets.
I was going to say,
like,
it just seems that you've done your research.
I know my stuff, right?
You know what I mean?
I mean, I've been a child as well at one point, and like, I've eaten every sweet under the sun that was available, as you can tell. But
Hey, listen, I'm the same as you. Don't worry.
So like, you've got to taste test everything that comes in the door. That's the rule. But yeah, like. Are
you looking to hire anybody?
Well, you never know. That's the problem. If I had, I don't get any stock left to sell.
If I was working for you definitely wouldn't.
So yeah, like, it's just every day I'll get offered some sort of random product that you've either never heard of before. So I've got to bring it in and educate. So it's not just a case of I'll get these sweets in and I'll just sell them, because a lot of times you'll look at it and you go, what is that? Like, another example of a product, right? I'm maybe going into too much depth, but we've got these Mexican lollipops in. They're called slaps. Slaps, I think it is. Yeah, it's slaps. And they're big flat lollipops, right? And they come with a wee stick, and you can essentially mould it in round the lollipop stick into a lollipop, right? But the whole idea is that you can stuff stuff in it and wrap around it and create a lollipop with like a filled inner of whatever you choose, right? So whatever you put
It's quite creative, isn't it?
It's fun for like kids and stuff like that. Like, and they've come on to TikTok, and some people have bought them and stuff like that. But like, that's something that if you've seen that, the picture doesn't show off really what it is. It's called Slaps Lollipop Kit, and you're like, don't know what that is. So I've got to then go and make videos and then show you me making it to go get your own, and people then buy. So like, some products are a straight away nostalgic win because they remember them.
Yes.
Some are like, I've been to America, I've been to Spain, give me those ruffles, come on, like, I need them now. So that's an easy win. But there's other products where you've got to bring them in and be new and be trending and create a trend by going, look at Slaps Lollipops. Well, you know, it's now a viral trend and everybody knows about Slaps Lollipops. I
think that's the good thing is how you meant to encourage people to buy certain products if you yourself don't even know what the product is and what they taste like, and you know what I mean, because there's probably things in there that you buy in and you're like, oh, I can't stand the thought of that, and it makes just everything just makes you feel sick. And then there's stuff that you're probably like, oh, I could just sit eat all day and like, I could just munch it all day.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, some products have never made it to the market, to the shelf, because I've tanned them all. Like it was, you just sit down and you go, oh, these are quite nice, and before you know it, the whole box is gone. You're like, Grant, you're meant to sell them. So, you know,
It'd be the choose for me. It would be the choose for me.
Yeah, milk bar juice. Thankfully, I had a lot of them, so like, I don't think I could quite do that volume. But yeah, like it's just every time you get something new and you've got to try it. Sometimes it's a hit. Sometimes I'm not as fond of it. But I've also got to remember I'm running a business that isn't for my taste. So it's for everybody's taste. So I'll get a product in. I might not like it, but I know that it's a good product, so I'll stock it. Other times we've had products in and I've like went, that's not a great quality product, so we'll sell these off and we'll not stock them again, or we'll sell them off cheap, we'll sell them off in clearance just to get rid of them, and we'll not stock them again. So I know what's a quality product. I might not know what's tasty and good, like for my taste, but I know when it's a quality product. That's one skill set that I feel that I've got, and I mean it shows because like everybody seems to enjoy the products that we put out, you know what I mean? So yeah, so far so good. May it continue.
Other than the chews, have you got a top product that you tend to sell?
I mean, Pick and Mix is one of my most popular products. That's how we started the business. The business started as just Pick and Mix. It was 50 options in Pick and Mix, and that was it, and a few cans of juice. Before you knew it, it started to grow and grow and grow, and now we're at like 100 Pick and Mix options and like 300, 400 world imported candy, snacks, chocolates, and drinks, basically. Yep. But the Milky Bar Chews is the absolute hero product right now for me. It has been this year. Like Pick and Mix has always been a good seller for us. I mean, it's good stuff. Like
perfect for any occasion.
You've had some. Like,
I definitely have had some.
You know, it's good stuff. It's not. We don't like. I shy away from getting in the kind of cheaper, like branded stuff. Not that it's bad. It's just not as good premium quality. And like SweetPunkz is a brand that isn't high tier. It's not low tier either. It's like nicely in the middle. Like we're a good quality, good solid, affordable quality. People might challenge me on that, but like that's how I built the brand, is to be affordable but also really good quality, good value for money. That's what it is all about, that for me. So people that have bought from us in the past, they might have been let down by daft stuff like delivery issues and stuff like that, but like the actual core product that we sell, whether it's Pick and Mix or the imported goods that we sell, I'm confident that pretty much everybody that's had some from SweetPunkz has went, you know, fair play, that's good stuff. So that's what it's all about.
I can't say I've had a bad experience ordering out with, because obviously we were just chatting there, and you didn't know who I really was until you came in the room. We've sat down and spoke, but as somebody that's ordered from you in the past, out with, not even contacting you or anything, ordering directly from your website, I've had nothing but a pleasant experience, which I imagine most people within the Paisley area have.
Yeah, I would hope so. Nobody slags me too much, so.
No, well, I mean, if you don't get slagged every so often, a couple of trolls there, then you're not doing well.
I do enough TikTok to get the slaggings in for the week, but nobody's directly to my face said anything, which is good. So, but yeah, we keep going, and we keep bringing them new stuff all the time, and as long as we do it with a smile on our face and we do it in an efficient manner that like works for people, then I'm happy that the business is doing what it should be doing. And yeah, so far the feedback has been thumbs up, you know.
Class, mate. Long may it continue.
Yeah, I hope so.
TikTok, let's talk about that. That's a big thing for your business.
TikTok,
So how would you promote your products on it? Because you as you say, you've started from an account with 0 followers, and I'm not sure what your official account is at the minute, but you're pretty much up there.
Yeah.
From the last time I seen. I need some tips.
I mean, if I knew what to say to you, I would tell you. I would start a course and I'd sell it. But like, I would say this: TikTok is a roller coaster. Okay, it can be the best thing in the world. It can be the worst thing in the world. There is no right way to do it. I'll tell you that right now. There's a very easy way to get likes and views and all that stuff. But you've got to be willing to do it. It's not how I did it. Be controversial. Say stuff that's going to irritate people and get comments. That if you really want to do it, easy. If I started a new TikTok tomorrow and it was a project and I went, watch me get loads of views and loads of likes, I'm just going to say the most outlandish stuff in the world that's going to get people riled up, and they're going to comment.
Get them talking.
You know what? My views be flying, right? And people make a living off that on TikTok. Does my nutting, but people do it, right? For me, it was a case of, if you're going to put your business on TikTok, you've got to put your face on it, okay? That was the biggest one for me. I see it still to this day. People try to do it and they're just like showcasing their product or their sweets with their hands, and they're like showing it off. it doesn't work. I mean, it doesn't. You need to put you into that brand. So SweetPunkz is very much me, and I'm very much SweetPunkz. So you've got to put yourself in it. So hopefully you've got a personality to do that with, right? And like people will engage with you and they'll respond to you. Like, I mean, I'm selling sweets at the end of the day. It's not a hard sell, right? It's not. But like, I'm just there to give you the behind the scenes stuff, how the business is developing. I basically said, right, when I start the TikTok, it's going to be me showing you how the business works. I'm going to show you packaging videos. I'm going to show you the warehouse. I'm going to walk you around. I'm going to show you the like, I mean, one day, right, I bought in like packing peanuts. Okay, right, how exciting, right? Packing peanuts.
I think I remember watching this.
Right, okay, but like, how exciting is packing peanuts, right? But I'm like, no, I can make content off this, right? Watch this. So before you know it, I'm making a daft video of me dragging bags of packing peanuts around the whole office, busting the bag open. I'm showing off the fact that they're biodegradable by washing them in the water and watching them disintegrate. And like, people loved it, right? I was like, oh, I thought this would be an okay video, just a bit of laugh. People loved it. They responded to it. They went, oh, that's great that you're environmentally friendly. I was like,
you're
wow,
ticking the boxes.
That wasn't quite what I was meaning with the content side of it, but I've hit the mission statement of that video is we are biodegradable, like packing peanuts. I was like, right, okay. So from that kind of moment, I went, your videos can be anything. Your videos can be funny. They can be educational, but try something. Just do something different and see what happens. But always put yourself in that video. Anytime that I do a video where it's just like me showcasing products and just doing like a walk around of like just filming the shelves, doesn't really do much. It doesn't do much engagement. But if it's me just throwing myself into a video, acting a bit of a dafty, right, and just like talking about Milky Bar Chews, wow, okay, that's the winner. So yeah, TikTok is a absolute mountain of a like beast to like climb, but sometimes when it works. And like for me, we got lucky. We did a challenge, super sour challenge for Sam H for Scottish Association of Mental Health, because one of the biggest things for me in SweetPunkz is that yes, it's an online modern day sweet shop, but it has a social side to it as well. So I like to try and do what I can to get involved in my local community or to give back directly through donations or just awareness campaigns and things like that. So it's all great selling sweets and making a business and making money, but I was like, I want it to be a bit more than that. Like I want it to be a bit more than that. So I did. And one of the biggest things that ended up being one of the biggest growth marketing campaigns, which was never meant to be a marketing campaign, I swear to God. It was literally just like, I'm going to do something positive for an association that does mental health, and I'm going to try and raise money and awareness of them basically doing something. So I was like, right, we've got these sour balls, these crazy like 20-second sour challenge balls. And I was like, what can I do with them? I don't know. I was like, I tried one once and I went, I don't like these. These are not good. I can't sell these. People are just going to think I'm trying to like poison them.
I think I bought them as well.
You might have. Yeah.
I think I did.
It's one of the biggest things.
I think I've literally bought everything from you.
Could do. Yeah, well, you've done well then, right? So you've been around.
I'm a loyal customer, even though I probably don't realise. I buy so much.
Yeah. So like these sour challenge balls were horrible, okay, like in a good way. Like they were sour challenge balls.
Once you go over the sour, they were lovely.
Nice,
they were lovely.
Thank you. Right, but like the idea was, what do I do with these? Because I can't sell them. At the time, I says, there's no way MD's going to want to buy these. Nobody's going
like a full bag of them at least.
Yeah, nobody's going to be crazy enough to want to buy these sour challenge balls. Like, how wrong was I? So sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. And I basically went, right, well, what we'll do is I had like 10 jars of the stuff, and I was like, what a bad investment. I was like, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give them away. I'll offer them out to people that want to do the sour challenge. I'll package it up as a charity donation. So I'll give you them out for free. Hopefully, here's my Just Giving page. Thanks very much for taking something for free. Thinking, everybody that wants to take something for free is going to want to give at least a £5, right? That was the methodology, because everybody wants to support a good cause and everybody wants to get some free stuff, right? So I was like, this is going to do well. I put out a video, basically me creating what I call the SweetPunkz Super Sour Challenge for Sam H, where you'd had to put the ball or the two balls that you got in your mouth for 20 seconds, see if you can last it, and film your reaction, post it up on TikTok, tag us, tag Sam H, and then obviously leave a donation to the Just Giving page. And I did not realise how crazy TikTok can get. until I posted that video.
There's a whole side to TikTok that
Crazy.
some people will probably never see.
No, and that opened my eyes. So I think I posted that video, and this was back in like the first or second, third month maybe of SweetPunkz. So like we were doing okay. It was nothing crazy. And I posted that video just on the off cuff, going, maybe I've got 100 parcels here. Maybe I can give away 100 free parcels to people in the local area around the UK. I'll pay for the shipping. I'll pay for the actual product. I just want to get them in your hands. Promote SweetPunkz, but also it was all about the campaign. Try to do something positive. I was like, right, we've had 2 good months at SweetPunkz back then. I thought we're 2 good months, and I was like, right, we'll give away some free stuff now. It's time to do something positive with the stuff we've done. And I posted that video, and within 10 minutes to an hour, I think we were at like 10k views.
Wow.
And for me back then, like, I mean, I was struggling to get a video of like 1,000 views. So I got 10k. I was like, I'm running around the house going, whoa, check this out, family. Like,
I'm viral.
Like, I'm
viral.
I'm big time. Look, I've got 10k views. Like, whoa, I've got 10k views. I've got hundreds of people commenting, asking me, oh, how do I get them? How do I get them? And I never really thought about, oh, you can't actually message somebody on TikTok really at the time. I was like, how do I actually get these stuff to these people? I was like, oh, jump over Instagram and messages on there. So like, I'm pure managing while watching this video fly up and become semi-viral at the time. I'm doing that, and on my Instagram I'm getting loads of DMs, people saying, can I get them? Can I get them? How do I get them? So I'm answering people on DMs while watching this video just blow up. So 10k views. I was like, wow, that's crazy, that's amazing. I look back and like another 10 minutes it's 15,000. I went, we've gone up by like half the volume already. This is crazy. I'm losing my mind at this point, right? This is massive to me now. I'll be like, okay, cool, we're doing this. A good video, solid video. But back then I was like, my mind was blown. Of like, wow, we're finally, the business is finally taken off. That's what I thought at the time. And I looked again, and now a good solid hour and a half after the video had been posted, it was at 50,000 views.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, I've made it, mum, I've made it. Lo and behold, just keep watching it over the next half hour, the next half hour, next half hour, next half hour. I've watched it go from 10,000, 15,000, 50,000, 100,000, 150,000 to 200, 250, 300, 500,000. Well, you know what? That video's topped off at 1.2 million in the space of 24 hours. So in 24 hours, my business has been seen by 1.2 million people, which sounds amazing, and it is amazing. But my Instagram DMs were not amazing at the time. From the initial idea of saying, oh, you know, I'll give away 100 free packeted balls, I had 600 people in my DMs on Instagram asking for free stuff. And I'm like, if I send all these out, I'm not going to have a business. So basically, it turned out to be one of the best like marketing campaigns that wasn't even meant to be a marketing campaign into one of the worst. It was like PR disaster. I'm like, I can't afford to send out. I don't even have 600 people. Have 600? I was like, what am I going to do? So before you know it, I'm away back to suppliers. I'm buying more of these challenge balls, going, I'm giving away these for free and I'm paying for them. I'm like, what? Yeah, I've lost my mind. But I tried to just spin it into, it was a good thing for the business. It was creating, we were creating sales on the website because people were coming and supporting us from the back of the video. They were like, oh, that's really good.
And encouraging people to go to your website
100%.
Where they would then get a chance to see the stock that you have available.
Well, I'll put it this way, right? We went from maybe, I don't have the actual stats, but maybe like 1,000, 2,000 followers at that time on TikTok to 30,000 followers in a day. So that was like the big jump for us. That was the catalyst in the business that really took us to new dizzy heights. And we had those 700 people, and I basically gave away the 100 that I planned on giving for free, absolute free. So it cost me an arm and a leg, right? But I did it. I did what I promised to do. I said I'm going to do it. I did it. Then what we did was I turned it into a marketing campaign after I realised that it was a marketing campaign. And the 600 odd people, which then became, I think, like 1,400 people in the totality of this whole thing. I basically said to the 1,300 that wasn't in the initial 100, I says, jump on our website. I've created a product. It's free on the website. There's Super Sour Challenge. It's there. There's 1,300 of them available. Go and grab them and pay the postage. That's all I'm asking you to do.
Yep.
Pay the $2.99 postage at the time. I'll send you them for free. You do the challenge, get involved, because it's still absolutely viral, trending on TikTok at the moment. Anytime somebody posted their challenge video, it was getting 10,000 views of its own. Essentially, like people were getting views off the back of it.
Such a viral thing.
It was huge. Anytime somebody used the hashtag SweetPunkz Super Sour Challenge, it was instant views for you almost. It was that popular.
Damn it, I missed that.
You did. You missed a trend.
I'm just eating the sour balls for myself.
so it went crazy. People continued, like, that was for the first like day or two. That was my video. Then when people started posting their attempts, it just kept going for weeks. So for about 2 or 3 months, the business was creating customers for itself just from everybody else's challenge videos, and the Get Just Giving page kept growing and growing and growing. So basically, in the end, sent to 1,400 customers, collected details on 1,400 customers, because essentially it was it turned into a marketing campaign where you were buying directly through the checkout, and now your details are part of my newsletter, right? So you're now part of the SweetPunkz world. You got the Sour Challenge for the postage cost. You did the challenge, you got your views, you got involved, and essentially I got 1,300 customers on newsletters, which wasn't the plan initially, but I was like, well, I'm not missing out this chance, because I do have a business head at some point. It does go on, and I go, I'm missing out here. So that's what happened at the start of the business. 2 or 3 months into the business, totally catalyst injected that life into it, and that was when I really got the bug for the whole TikTok thing.
That's when it kickstarted.
I was like, right, there's something to this. If I can just crack the code. I mean, I'm still 2 years down the line asking how to crack that code, but sometimes we do it. I
think that's it. As I say, you always learn, and I think with you, your business has grown arms and legs, and it's been the help of your social media presence, especially with your customer, your clientele. Obviously, your partnerships that you work with. We just discussed there that it was you work closely with St Martin, Dundee.
Yeah.
You work with Hibs.
Yep, Hibs and Motherwell.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Premiership teams.
Yep.
Now, you know what I mean? So,
yeah,
fantastic opportunity there to get in that. And with the work of all of these things, you've now moved into your own premise, which is
headaches.
Well, a headache to you, but impressive to somebody out with like myself, considering, you know what I mean, I know what you've kind of been through. I'm on my journey within the startup street, especially in Renfrew, and how you've went from something now, the room is the room it is, how you went from that to your own unit. I mean, that is impressive. And if you've not checked out, by the way, head out for it to SweetPunkz TikTok. 100% I would recommend going looking at it, because you've did the kind of background scene tours.
I tried to give the whole...
Hey, I loved it. I love all that stuff. That's
I'm glad. So like I said, like, I'm big on the behind the scenes stuff, as I said to you. So like, if I can get any content out of anything I do, I will do it. So I mean, I've done content of me walking around Asda, doing videos of me shopping in Asda to give to people and stuff like that. Is crazy. So if there's content there, I'll do it. So when I moved to this new place, it was a cavern of like just an old warehouse, and I was like, right, it needs videos. We need something every couple of days, just a wee snip round, just the same pan view of it. And before you know it, it'll build. And before you know it, you can put all the clips together and you've got a video. So we've done loads of them. So yeah, TikTok is the place to go if you want to see our like transformation of our new warehouse from absolute chaos, if you would agree, to now a pretty nice looking food business.
Looks lovely.
Yeah, thank you.
Looks lovely. You've even got your own office space, which is,
I was like,
I can imagine for you it would be brilliant.
What a day. See, when I agreed that I was getting an office, I was like, I can't believe I'm getting an office, because like I've essentially been working in a room that's like, I don't know, like 400 square feet, I think, is the total of, but that's 2 rooms we were in. So like I started off in a 200 square foot room. I then moved into a maybe 300 square foot room, and then I stole another room. I stole another room in the startup street in Paisley.
You ended up just overtaking the startup street.
I really did. So like I think at one point we had 3 of the rooms in there.
Wow.
2 for stock and like storage, and 1 just for like actually working in. It's just crazy. But yeah, we just kept growing and growing, and we outgrew that place like within like the first 6 months probably that we were there. Because again, I was taking those 2 or 3 rooms, but we stayed there for 2.5 years, and now moved to the big space basically that we're in, and it's 1,800 square feet in the heart of Paisley still. It's got everything we need. The landlords where we are have been brilliant with us, and have really invested in the space with us, which you don't
tend to see.
No. So part of that was me meeting the head of the whole project and talking to them and like having a conversation about like what SweetPunkz is, kind of like this, and how it was that we grew and what the plans are for that business. And they've kind of bought into the project as well, which is crazy. And they were like, right, well, we'll give you this space and we'll essentially like develop it with you. What do you need? What do you need to hit your hygiene approvals? What do you need to hit your growth plans? I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting this at all.
They became so invested in.
They did. So I think they kind of bought into the story or the journey as well, which, you know, that's something different. I don't know if that's a SweetPunkz specific thing, or I've just, again, lucky timing again for me. I'm very good at that luck, can I? I put on the
need to rub shoulders with you, see if I can get a bit
this weekend. Remind me.
Do you know the lottery numbers now?
It could be. I think 6, isn't it?
6.
So see if 6 comes up at the weekend. By the way,
I guarantee you will.
I'll be raging at myself off and on. But yeah, like I found somebody that agreed that this was going to be the next step, and it worked, and they would help me. And as part of that, I've obviously built my office within the space, and the racking and everything went up and the floors are in, and then before you knew it, it was just developing. Every like couple of days it was something new, and it took us about a month and a half, so we had to move out of the other place while moving into the new place, and that was part of the whole challenge. It was difficult. I had to close the business closed for a whole month, which was the hardest part. One of my customers were like, what's happening with SweetPunkz? What are they doing? To no finances coming in at all, but yeah, I was going to say probably spending out the most we've ever spent out in a month.
The outgoings were
horrendous, horrendous, but obviously for the right reasons. So if you're going to spend money in business, do it for the right reasons. Don't just be like spending on anything. Like, that's so cliche, but it's so true. Like, I've spent on daft stuff and I went, what's the benefit? What's the return? There is none. So it's like a vanity project sometimes. So like, this was all about, right, we need this, we need the space to grow, we need this many workstations, we need this much racking, we need this, we need that, because I want to grow the product range by 2 times. So I'm like, well, I need the floor space for this, and I need an office so that I can like actually like take calls and plan things and like have meetings and stuff if I've got a supplier coming. All these kind of things are things that we didn't have at the old place, because the old place was literally like a desk, and the computer was on the desk, and the racking just kind of went all around me. And
I remember getting a wee tour of your room when I came to pick stuff up, and I remember
this is the room, close the door, that's it. Yeah, exactly.
It was, and it's so honestly, like, as I say, you've probably got the old videos and stuff on your TikTok where we could see the room, and as I say, if you got the time, go to TikTok and see the transformation between what Grant was working from to what he's now working from, and I believe it's only going to elevate SweetPunkz.
Yeah, I think it will. I hope it will. Like I got sick of tripping over boxes to try and. I mean, it's a health and safety hazard, but don't tell anybody that, okay? But it was bad. It was totally food safe, right? But again, tripping over boxes, tripping over like my mother, who is like a big, massive part of my business, like huge part of my business, couldn't do it without her. We'd work in that space together, packing sweets and packing boxes, and like you literally had to like
bumping into each other,
like just like stay still while the other person went by you. It was ridiculous. So the whole idea of the new place is we've got space, literally too much space. Sometimes like I'm looking at like a corner that's got nothing in it, going, I need to put something in there. Like I'm not used to seeing,
fill that gap.
Yeah, I'm not used to seeing empty space. So that I'm trying to like learn here. I'm trying to like get used to that it's okay to have some empty space sometimes, because sometimes things crop up that you've not planned for, and you're like, oh, I can go there. But like I'm not used to seeing empty space at all. And like whenever I see it, I do freak out a little bit, because I'm so used to like using everything that I've got to my like ability. Yeah. So it's just the way the business was for 2 years. So there's a learning curve. There's a new learning curve. It's a good one. But yeah, we'll develop eventually. I'll get used to it. So
it's just amazing to see where SweetPunkz has started to where it is now. And you are a massive part within the Renfrewshire area, Paisley in particular. And I think obviously it's now been recognised. You've just received an award. Let me just make sure, the Inspirational Community Enterprise Award, if that's right. Yeah, so
Inspirational Awards. Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I got a message from the people that run it, Leah and Paul, and I was like, oh, okay. Oh, thanks very much. I was like that. I can't make the date. I couldn't make the date. They told me it was at Rock and Rollers in Paisley, and like, can you come on this Friday night? Because it was like 2 weeks away or 3 weeks away. I was like, I can't come. was like, oh no, because like I've got this thing right about award ceremonies that if you don't attend the award ceremony, you're out. Okay, that's how I see it. I'm like, no matter even if like you are the person that should win it, like if you don't attend that ceremony,
how could they give it to you if you're not there?
How can you get it? And I totally appreciate that. So when I seen that come in, I was like, I might have had a shot at that, but oh well. That thanks very much. You know, it's cool. So we actually get nominated by one of our customers as well, Reese. So shout out to Reese for that. I found
nice.
out later
Well done,
on.
Reese.
So Reese basically told the RIA that we should get nominated, and this is why. Because I had no idea about it. Right, I'd heard about it the year before, but I had no idea. Like, is that one of those like award shows where you win it, but you basically like you make yourself win it by applying for it. Which there's many of those, right?
There's loads of these things in Glasgow. Honestly, and the people that win that, and they're like, "Oh my god, thanks so much," and you're like, "You're the one that nominated yourself for that."
Yeah, so it doesn't count.
It's all rigged.
It doesn't count. So yeah, so
that's nice to be recognised though again by the local people in Paisley.
Lovely, and it just shows again that we're doing something right. I mean, we're working from a unit behind a shutter, behind blinds. Like, we're not shop front. There's no SweetPunkz on the wall. I mean, there's SweetPunkz on the van now, right, and it's on the street, but we're not a shop, so I'm not engaging like handshaking and talking face to face with my customers every day. So
there's no footfall coming in and out there.
There's definitely not. So it's all social media, it's all TikTok, it's all Instagram and all that good stuff, and it's word of mouth. That from the local perspective, it's word of mouth. And obviously we do the Friday night like a Paisley Eats Just Eat type idea, where we'll do a local delivery service on a Friday night, which we've not quite got back up and running yet with the new space, but we will get there.
It's a great service.
It's good.
Just want a wee munch on a Friday night.
That was basically I went, right, we're not doing enough for our local stuff. We're not doing enough local touch, not enough local community stuff. And like, you might see that as like, well, what do you mean? It's not really a community project, is it? You selling sweets to somebody as a business? I mean, yeah, it is, but like it's giving access to people locally.
I was going to say the accessibility has now increased.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's one of the downsides right now of the new space is that we aren't doing collections at this very moment in time. I'm trying to work that out. Again, one of the nuances of new places, you're trying to learn the
logistics
of it. Yeah, exactly. So, the Paisley Eats was a touch basically to say, look, if you're chilling on a Friday night, whether you're with the kids, you're watching a film, or you're just chilling in your room, it's not always kids in here. You buy from SweetPunkz, by the way. I've got a very wide range in our customer base.
I buy from SweetPunkz, and I'm nearly 30.
Yes. Well, yeah, exactly. See, so a big kid, right? But basically, the Paisley Eats thing was an idea that I was like, right, I want to work with another local Paisley business, because Tom, who runs Paisley Eats, is a local Paisley guy. So he's starting up something himself, and I went, right, there's something
Maybe
there.
see if I can get Tom on the podcast.
Yeah, Tom's a good dude. So basically, like, I was like, I wanted to try something different. I'm working with another local business. I love working with local Paisley businesses, or just Paisley people, or Renfrewshire people, right? I keep saying Paisley, but wider Renfrewshire.
Yeah, Renfrewshire.
And I was like, right, well, everything came together. It's one of those things where like every little tick box was there for me, and I was like, let's do it. I mean, I sacrificed my Friday and Saturday nights at the start, which was tough, because essentially my business is 24/7. It really is, apart from the Sunday.
How do you switch off? Yeah.
Oh, and I never did, and I still don't really. But at the time when we started Paisley Eats, it was a Friday and Saturday night thing we were doing. It's come just to a Friday night only. It made sense to do that. But yeah, it's still Friday nights, which for me is a big night for me. So I've got my Saturday back, which is great. I can go to my football and all that good stuff. So I still got the personal touches there. But yeah, we still don't switch off apart from that day, essentially. So yeah, it was a chance to work with a Paisley local business, and we took it, and it gave that local touch, which kind of plays on that whole awards ceremony thing, that we do try and reach out locally and do things, but obviously that award has a touch with inspirational and try to inspire people, essentially. So I don't know why exactly I won it. I couldn't tell you the exact reasons, because that's not the conversation that I've really had. But if I was to put like my finger on it and to try and guess at it, is we are a local business. We've gone from nothing to pretty popular pretty quickly by putting a lot of effort and a lot of graft in. We've leaned on our local community. We've tried to be accessible to our local community. we've given back to our local community. We've worked with, like I said to you, like we've got the social side of the business as well. So part of it was that we worked with the Homeless Project Scotland in Glasgow under the Healyman's umbrella, who do like a soup kitchen type thing. So we've donated sweet parcels to them. That's Glasgow, yes, but we've done similar with the Renfrewshire Food Bank here locally. We did a charter, like a remember the Willy Wonka film, the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory film, where they had the Wonka bars and they had the golden ticket. So we designed a golden ticket. I had the Wonka bars from a supplier. Somehow I managed to get them. We created 5 golden tickets. We customized them. They were proper shiny as well. They were really, really good. Again, I don't do things by half, right? When I do SweetPunkz, everything's like,
that's all part of that pristine marketing brain.
It's all a part of that, right? So I was like, well, there you go. That's marketing. But we spun it into all the profits from that were donated to the Renfrewshire Food Bank. So we gave something back at Christmas time as well. That was last Christmas we did that. So we have a social calendar of things that we like to do and like to get involved. So that was an obvious one for me, especially at Christmas time when the need is there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And we've got, like, as I said, I'm very involved with St Mirren as well. So like that's my football team essentially. So I'm involved with them in terms of their Festive Friends campaign at the winter time as well. We'll donate loads of sweet parcels as well to them. So I think all of those reasons is kind of why that kind of happened essentially. So we're running a successful business. We've done something from nothing essentially. We're working with the local community and we're giving back to the local community. So
it's inspiring in many ways, rather than just inspiring somebody to start up their own business. It's not like that at all. I would say
no. I don't think that was the
I think it's to encourage people to be more kind to the local as well, and being a big part of the community. Like I think that's the whole big thing. You know, I mean, the community's in the title of the award as well, and what you've done within the community is fantastic. And again, your local campaigns that you do, whether it be for mental health, homeless, and things like that, they're all incredible things, and it's great. And like as you just said, you give up a lot of time. You sacrifice a lot, obviously, to do it as well. There's parts of the business that do get obviously hit with that, but at the end of the day, you're helping someone else, which is very inspiring in itself. So well done, mate. Congratulations.
Cheers. Yeah, it's something that, as I said, like it's what when I started this business, I literally went, right, I want to run a business. This was a hobby for the first couple of months. It was to cover that gap. Then when I realised that it had real legs, I was like, right, I want it to be my life. I want it to be my future. Everything. What can I do with this? Can I do something positive with it as well? And you know, so far so good. If anything, I'd like to do even more, because I feel that like it's great to do these campaigns and stuff, but it's always based on something different. So like we had the Sour Challenge, turned that into a smart like project essentially, where it's about raising awareness. Did it with the Wonka bar. I've done it with other things, but I'm like, I just want to do it without having to create something specific. You know, like just say, right, we're doing this because it makes sense, instead of we've got this product that I really want to like flip into this project, you know. So I'm hoping that as the business grows, we can naturally kind of do more community stuff without having to create the next big trending product.
Just get involved with it.
Yeah, it's great and fun to do them, but like I just love to just give back more and more and more. So that's my plan with SweetPunkz as it grows. Hopefully as it grows, you know, fingers crossed that it continues to, that we can then do even more and have more impact. Like I want SweetPunkz to be known in the Paisley and Renfrewshire area, and really grow and be like, oh, SweetPunkz, like people know what it is. Some people have seen us on TikTok and it's amazing. Some people know who we are, but other people don't. So it's so hard to touch on so many people, and like it's like a town of like 80,000 odd people. So, you know, I want to keep going, and I want people to know about SweetPunkz in the right way. So that's one of the things that's going to be behind that. So long may it continue.
No, I think definitely it will, and obviously I think we've dug right in to why SweetPunkz and who SweetPunkz is and who you are, Grant, and who you are as a person. And I think just to wrap everything up, you talked about getting the name out there and stuff. Let's find out your user handles for socials.
Everything's SweetPunkz. So that again, if you're
nice and easy.
If you're gonna start a business, make sure you get every single social media handle down. Don't create your name without doing that. So at SweetPunkz with a Z and everything. So Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Threads. which is a new one. By the way, I don't even want to go into that.
I've got it. Don't touch it.
Download it just so you can secure your handles. But that is it. I'm never touching it since then. So yeah, SweetPunkz on everything, and SweetPunkz is the website, and SweetPunkz is life. So yeah,
SweetPunkz is life. I like that. That's a nice slogan there. No, listen, and I think as you've just said, I'll just reiterate again. SweetPunkz. Make sure to follow them on all social media. Definitely, you can get your sweet fix there, and you can follow Grant's journey, especially on TikTok with the. You know what I mean, the constant videos and shorts and things that you do there. I wish you nothing but success
for
the business. I will continue to order from you.
That's all that matters.
As long as you stop those barbecue lays,
hey,
I will be here. I'll put my list. Is it?
Yeah.
I'll put an order in. Don't worry. They're my jam. They're my jam. But listen, thank you so much for coming along.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
If you're listening, folks, whether it be YouTube, please feel free to drop us a wee subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, then you can follow the podcast. There is a follow button, and make sure to leave a review, preferably 5 stars for Grant here, because this episode has been very jam-packed. Definitely the longest one I think we've done as well. Thanks very much. This is Grant who thought, I can't talk. You can talk, don't you worry. But listen, thank you so much for coming on, mate. Much appreciated. And we'll see you in the next one, folks. Take care. Thanks very much.
Cheers.